Good afternoon, beautiful people. It's an absolutely stunning spring day. The sun is shining and the bird song is sweet. And check out this incredible view. Now today I've come all the way up here to celebrate a very special little wildflower. In the big books of edible weeds and edible flowers, this little flower barely ever gets a mention. And what flower am I talking about? The humble common daisy. It's Daisy's day to shine. This beautiful little wildflower isn't just completely edible, it's actually a medicinal herb too. So come with me and let's celebrate everything to do with the daisy. Firstly, let's start with the daisy's name. How did this wildflower end up with such a beautiful name? Well, originally the daisy's name was called Day's Eye because the daisy opens in the morning to greet the sun and then it closes at night again to go to sleep. So originally in Old English it was called Day's Eye, and slowly over time this merged into Daisy, the name we all know it by today. Now the scientific name, the Latin name of the daisy, is also very special because it's bellis perenis, and that translated, bellis means beautiful, perennis means lives forever. So we can either say this is the daisy, or we can either say it's the day's eye that's beautiful and lives forever. Now before we carry on with the video, let's just take a moment to bask in the ambiance of how beautiful the daisy flower is. Just look at how perfect its bright white petals are, and then in the center it has a heart of gold. It's an absolutely beautiful wildflower that's so overlooked. Now the daisy is actually completely edible. You can eat the entire thing. I like to sometimes just sit outside in the fresh air in the sunshine when the daisies are blooming and just take a moment to really appreciate the daisy's very unique flavour. Lots of people describe them as bitter, but that's because they're trying to eat large quantities of daisies. Now you can do that, and if you want to do that, they're best in soups and sandwiches and salads and things like that. But I like to just take a mindful moment and appreciate and take in that essence of a daisy. Now not only is this daisy, this incredible wildflower, completely edible, it's actually classified as a medicinal herb. The daisy's medicinal properties mainly lie around healing. It used to be known as bruisewort in the medieval ages, or bone wort, because you can, if you have a broken bone or a bruise, you apply it and it really helps heal the bruise and the wound. Romans used to use daisy to actually cover open wounds, and there was a scientific study taken out of some poor little rats like in 2012 I believe, where they proved that it actually helps the healing process of bruises and wounds and actually reduces scarring too. Now it also is a mild painkiller, and traditionally and even now if you've got a toothache and you're out and about, you can chew a daisy and that should help soothe and bring some relief to your toothache. Now you can actually use this incredible little wildflower, the humble daisy, in replacement of arnica. Arnica is actually in the daisy family too. Now to do that, all you do is just blend the juices of the daisy with a balm, and then you can apply it to your aches, strains and pains and your achy backs. And another name that the daisy's been known for over the years is gardener's friend, because all the country folk all out there that talk like that, they make daisy balms and they rub it on their lower back to soothe their back after a hard day's labour. Now, as well as being able to deal with our physical aches and pains, the daisy also makes a medicinal tea too. Just 2 teaspoons of daisies, and stew that in some nice hot water, and you have yourself a lovely medicinal tea. Now I'm going to add a few drops of rosehip syrup to my tea, just to sweeten it up. Well, before I do that, let's stew it for a while before I go putting in all that sweetness. Because just on its own, the daisy it's almost a bit lemony, the tea. It's really nice. I've just walked for miles and miles, so I feel like I need some sugars. Now, like all dark greens, daisy tea is really good for strengthening bones, and it's anti-inflammatory, and it helps improve circulation, and it's also a mild painkiller, and it's commonly classed as a weed, yet another wildflower that's discarded into the pile of weeds, when really it can provide for all of our needs. That is heartwarming. Look at this beautiful view. Just sit here and ponder existence for a minute. Now today, this is rosehip syrup. This is rosehips from last year, and this has more vitamin C in it than oranges. How cool is that? And although those rosehips are now long gone, I can still smell them and taste them because I've preserved them in a syrup. Now, the mythology and folklore of the daisy, there's a fair old bit surrounding it. Oh, that's good. That is good. Cheers. Have a look. There's an old wives' tale that's about the daisy and how it ended up with them. You know, the leaves some of them have a shade of pink, and the story goes, the rose was the queen of all the flowers, and she held a big party, a big ball for all the flowers, and they was all invited, all the flowers, apart from one little flower. Now, this little flower was so humble and shy, it didn't mind that it didn't get its invitation, and it whispered its congratulations from afar. But the wind blew and carried the little flower's congratulations all the way to the rose. And the rose said, "You shouldn't be ashamed, little flower. You have a beautiful white dress and a heart of gold." And that made the little white flower blush, and that's how the daisy ended up with its shades of pink. The daisy truly is an incredible wildflower. There's no such thing as a weed. A weed is just a flower growing where someone doesn't want it to, and I think the daisy is ultimate proof of that. It's not a weed, it's a nutritional, medicinal herb that's good for our health, and it's good for your environment and the bees, and it plays a very special role in our world. And it's not until we just take that moment to recognize and appreciate the daisy do we realize how intertwined it actually is in all of our lives. Take, for example, a summer's memory. Imagine one of them summer memories that make you feel good inside, when you sit and reminisce and it makes you feel nostalgic and think of them good times. Maybe you was running across the fields with your grandparents, or just chilling out at a festival enjoying the sunshine. Now think about them memories and all the smells and all how beautiful them times was. Now the daisy wouldn't have been far from you in any of them memories, and perhaps it was even right by your side. I think we can all take a leaf from the Daisies book. Some days we should just take a daisy day. We should just wake up, open our eyes, greet the sunshine, and it should be our only mission that day to just embrace the sun and then close our eyes and go back to sleep. We don't always need to get so caught up in the chaos of the world. Let's just take a day to be like a daisy. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about the daisy, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.